You're listening to Tackles, Tunes, and Turnbuckles, brought to you by the East Alabama News Network, broadcasting from the loveliest village on the plains, home of the Auburn Tigers, Auburn, Alabama. Here is your host of Tackles, Tunes, and Turnbuckles, Adam Broach.
This week on Tackles, Tunes, and Turnbuckles, to start out the show, we check in with the Blue Ridge Ramblers, hot off a weekend at the world-famous Grayson Honkytonk in Fitzpatrick, Alabama. We'll have a couple of songs for our listeners to enjoy. First, we'll check in at a rehearsal before they hit the road. It was a wild night at the last real honky-tonk in Alabama. Then we're going to hit the links with the PGA Tour's Barbasol Championship, the golf tournament happened in Opelika, Alabama, and just wrapped up. I'm going to sit down with the CEO of Sunbelt Golf, Mr. John Cannon. We talk about the magnitude of a PGA Tour stop and what goes on behind the scenes, keeping up with the golfers, staff, and the fans, keeping them safe in such a massive event. It's a very interesting look at what goes on behind the scenes and what the spectators don't see. Later, we welcome sports contributor Tom Peavy to break down the Barbasol Championship and how he possibly won the tournament for Grayson Murray.
Tackles, Tunes, and Turnbuckles with your host, Adam Broach. We'll be right back.
First, we're going to stop and check in with the Blue Ridge Ramblers rehearsing for their big show at Grace's in Fitzpatrick, Alabama. Hope you like these few select songs from their rehearsal.
Yeah. You got it enough, but if you want to have it perfect. Yeah. Now you got it perfect, see? An extra 10 seconds and you got it.
Patil's got that good ear.
Damn right. But I'll start it off strumming. Then you'll come in with everybody right here doing that. Start it right here. Grew up here where there ain't much blacktop. The headlights on the interstate don't stop. Any man worth his weight plows a straight road, and all the money is the grain in the silo. There's just enough homegrown pretty girls growing up around here that like to sip cold beer. It's a blank and you miss it kind of town, the kind of place that makes the world go round. My wheels have rolled all this red dirt. My hands have got scars from the hard work. Me and my friends unwind on the outskirts. A Friday nights might get a little black and blue. I'm out here riding out on the left hand. See the world through a crack where a rock hit. I am who I am. I do what I do. Looking at life from a broken windshield view. That's it. A truck bed's got a half roll of barbed wire, bale of hay and a patched up spare tire, cross on a chain hanging from the rear view, fifth in a brown paper sack packing 80 proof. Sun dropping off into that cornfield, thunder and lightning coming right behind it. These two-lane roads ain't paved in gold. Man flying and gravel's all I know. My hands have got scars from the hard work. Me and my friends unwind on the outskirts. Our Friday nights might get a little black and blue. I'm out here out now on a left hand. See the world through a crack where a rock hit. I am who I am. I do what I do. Looking at life from a broken windshield view. stay on the F. It's a blank and you miss it kind of town, the kind of place that makes the world go round. My wheels have rolled all this red dirt. My hands have got scars from the hard work. Me and my friends unwound on the outskirts. Our Friday nights might get a little black and blue. I'm out here at night on a love kid. See the world through a crack where a rocket. I am who I am, I do what I do. Looking at life from a broken windshield view. I am who I am, I do what I do. Looking at life from a broken windshield view. Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Can we go into like a little breakdown there with like a sweet little like.
The way, yeah, I forgot the way we practiced it before. We did that.
Sounded good,
Huh?
They're the Blue Ridge Ramblers. They just wrapped up rehearsal, and we're going to run through who they are, what they do, and where they're going to be. Start off over here. Bradley?
My name is Bradley Roberts from Slap Out, Alabama. I'm on lead vocals and rhythm guitar.
Over here we got
Mr. Bobby Wayne Barfield from Macon County, Alabama. I play lead guitar.
over here on the drums.
They call me the Animal, but my name's Andrew Money. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama.
Keys.
My name is Daniel Patillo from Notasulga, Alabama.
And on bass,
My name is Blake Robbins, and I'm from Jasper, Alabama.
Jasper, but he's going to school down in Troy for that higher education. Higher education. All right, guys, that sounded awesome. What I want to know is,
Thank you very much.
what kind of music do you play mostly?
I mostly play blues and country, roots music. That's what I'm into. That's all I've ever really been into. Never rock and roll, none of that other stuff. Maybe a little grunge in my younger days. I was influenced a little bit by that, but mainly blues and country.
And with this band, we're mostly outlaw country, but
Yeah.
we're influenced by everything.
So you play the good stuff, not this,
Music.
not the pop
Yeah,
country.
yeah, yeah.
mess.
No
They play-
trash, man.
No trash.
We
No
play
trash.
outlaw with a mix of funk tree.
We don't
Yeah,
play
we're
bro
influenced
country.
by everything from soul to funk to anything, man.
We
it
throw
in
all
there.
that into country music and try and make it the best we can.
All right, all right. So, guys, who are some of your influences?
Hank Williams Sr.,
Waylon
Muddy
Jennings,
Waters, Waylon
Earl Haggard.
Jennings,
Freddie King.
Yeah, Freddie King.
Willie Nelson.
Freddie King, baby. Freddie King. Freddie is the man. He's one of my favorites, But Waylon says it all. My favorite TV show of all times is The Dukes of Hazzard, and he's the balladeer, of course, on there.
Just a good old bull.
You cannot go wrong with Waylon.
You know, I see Stevie Ray hanging up on the wall over here.
Huge Stevie Ray fan. Huge Stevie Ray fan.
Scuttlebutt.
Yeah.
All right.
Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, all those blues guys.
And there's some, you guys play a lot of songs that you won't hear on the radio. Like, I recorded a cover you guys did of Casey Donahue Band, One Star Flag. I love that song. Bradley,
good song, man.
Why did you guys choose that song?
Well, we really like where the song comes from. They're a kind of a local band out of Texas, still kind of trying to make it big. And they've got some really cooking songs, and that's one of them. And
They play high tempo stuff.
it's
I think-
basically about a guy that hits it up in the rodeo, man.
I think what this band kind of focuses on is shedding light on musicians that people might not necessarily hear all the time.
Cody
But people
Jinks.
that, needless to say, need to be paid attention.
Sturgill Simpson.
They're keeping it
Sturgill,
true.
absolutely.
Whitey
You guys
Morgan.
play a lot of
Morgan.
Whitey Morgan.
All the guys we cover are pretty much like sticking to those country roots, and that's what we try and stick to. Like, we're not about pop country or anything like that. We
And
try
guys,
and keep it.
If you any of those names that have just been mentioned, if you see them playing anywhere nearby where you're at, please go see them. Support these guys. They're not on mainstream radio. You can catch them on, maybe satellite XM radio now and then. Get their albums online and stuff. But please go support those guys.
They're
Support
good, man.
local music. If you see the Blue Ridge Ramblers playing in your area, please go check them out.
Tackles, tunes, and turnbuckles with your host, Adam Broach. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a great, out-of-the-way honky-tonk, away from the hustle and bustle of downtown Auburn, look no further. Take a trip out to the corner of Wire and Webster Road in the loveliest village on the plains, Auburn, Alabama. Visit Fat Daddy's. Fat Daddy's is a private club, only a $5 membership fee. Great happy hour drink specials. Every day open until 9 p.m. $2 domestic beer, $2 well drinks. On Monday nights, it is open mic comedy night. Wednesday nights, ladies night. $2 glasses of wine until 9 p.m. It's also karaoke night with SLS Pros Karaoke. Be the star of the stage. Every weekend, put on your dancing shoes and come on out and join us for live music from great local artists. Fat Daddy's. Open later than anyone else in town. That's Fat Daddy's at the corner of Wire and Webster Road.
Back to the show. Tackles, tunes, and turnbuckles with your host, Adam Broach.
Just do it, damn it.
Damn it, Bobby. Yeah. Got ice in my veins and blood on my lips and this look on my face like I don't give a shit. Everybody's acting like I'm the only one fucked up. I'm staring down the barrel of a whiskey bottle, got the hammer down and I can't find the throttle. I'm revved up, red line, looking for a place to go. And I'm headed south like a freight train bound for Texas. There's a girl in Fort Worth, swears I'm on her mind. She tells me the bed gets cold when she's all alone. And that one star flag is waving like it's calling me home. Hey, buddy! I got nerve to steal with my hand on the gate. And when I nod my head, I'll be looking for rain. And my heart beats pumping so hard I can't catch my breath. And I hope that it blows and turns into my hand, 'cause I'll make a move for the girls in the stands. I'll be smiling with a chuckle while I'm holding up the buckle. We'll be taking it to the bar 'cause the drinks are on me. And I'm headed south like a freight train bound for Texas. There's a girl in Fort Worth, swears I'm on her mind. She tells me the bed gets cold when she's all alone. There's a one star flag is waving like it's calling me home. Go ahead, Daniel. Well, if you think I'm easy, you're mistaken. There's a 10 will leave you shaking. I might bend when I won't break. You can have what you can take. Come and get it, don't regret it. Better just walk away. And I'm headed south like a freight train bound for Texas. There's a girl in Fort Worth, swears I'm on her mind. And she tells me the bed gets cold when she's all alone. And that one star flag is waving like it's calling me home. Last line. And that one star flag is waving like it's calling me home.
Sometimes I feel like cutting a vein just watching it bleed. Oh, I'm tired of laying down, getting nothing on the other end. And people only want to be your friend when you got something they need. Oh, I'm getting pretty tired being treated like competition, when the only one that can hold me down is inside of my head. Oh, what's a honky gotta do around here to get a little recognition? Start thinking it might be worth more to everybody if I was dead. Oh, now some days you kill it, some days you just choke, some days you blast off, some days you just smoke. Oh, now maybe I do, and maybe I don't. Everybody saying they'll be there, but in the end, y'all know they won't. Oh, I'm getting pretty tired, sitting around wasting time. I'm tired of taking the blame when I ain't done nothing wrong. Oh, I'm tired of other people trying to take what's mine. I'm tired of y'all playing dress up, trying to sing them old country songs. Oh, now some days you kill it, some days you just choke, some days you blast off, some days you just smoke. Oh, now maybe I do, and maybe I don't. Everybody saying they'll be there, but in the end, y'all know they won't. Oh, now maybe I do, and maybe I don't. Oh, they all said they'll be there, but in the end, y'all know they won't. July 22nd, we have a show at Grace's in Fitzpatrick.
Oh my goodness,
That place
gracious.
is awesome.
22nd.
Best honky tonk you never been to.
Best honky tonk of the South.
And their
last
bartenders
honky-tonk
are
in the South.
generous.
It's almost dirt floors in there. It
The
is
best one you
coolest
never
place.
been to.
The Boar's Nest is what comes to mind when you think of when you pull
Yes.
up. You feel like Bo and Luke Duke sliding into the driveway, man. Cool place to come to.
And they
Please
make us
come check
pizzas.
it out.
The atmosphere is unbelievable.
And they make us pizzas. He's awesome.
Hey, Adam, also in August, we have works of a show at Hetty Hideaway here in Wetumpka, Alabama.
Local.
yeah,
local
keep us
show.
posted on that. Local here, right down the street.
They're remodeling
Okay,
everything.
September the
and
1st. Opening weekend of football at Auburn at our sponsor, this show's sponsor, Fat Daddy's.
Yes, man.
So
Great place to come out. Private club, man. You need to come in there. The bartenders are great people. Sign up. Get your club membership. Come on in there, buy some cold beer. The people take good care of you. Got good bartenders, waitresses. Please come out and check us out there. Be a good time. You'll be glad you did.
Absolutely, and live music there. They support local music at that establishment. They're not about these regional acts. They support local musicians. That's all you're going to see there. It's a great atmosphere. You know, come on out, check them out. September the 1st at Fat Daddy's in Auburn. That's going to be the opening weekend of football at Auburn. You know, it's going to be a great time. Everybody's going to be in town that weekend. That's September the 1st. And you guys you have a Facebook page, so look them up on Facebook.
Blue Ridge Ramblers. Check us out.
Blue
up
Ridge
there.
Ramblers on Facebook.
We're still booking for the summer, so in July and August, like if you need a country band that knows how to party and have a good time,
They play
hit us
private
up.
parties, weddings, anywhere.
Bar mitzvahs, goat ropings, you name it. We
Rat
do it
killings.
all. It don't matter. Rat killings.
Hoedowns.
raisins.
We do the hoedowns also.
Yeah, barn builders, barn building. We do
Barn
everything.
raisins, we do it
We
all.
do it all. If you be patient, we got a few singles coming out. Hopefully, real soon on vinyl. Hopefully, we'll have T-shirts, bumper stickers, you name it, we're going to have it soon, so check us out.
Koozies.
Koozies, yeah, keep that
Gotta
beer
keep
cold.
that cold beer.
All right, guys. I wanted to thank you for coming on the show. You sounded awesome tonight, and be looking out for these guys. Be looking out for them, and you guys did some covers tonight of some guys you don't hear on the radio quite a bit. Tell us about some of the guys you cover.
Whitey Morgan. You know, we do a lot of whaling.
Sturgill.
Jump up and speak in here.
Cody Jinks.
Sturgill
Earl
Simpson.
Haggard, Willie
Sturgill
Nelson.
Simpson,
Sturgill
yeah.
Simpson, that actor.
Whitey Morgan.
Yes, I love it.
Cody Jinks, and that song. Since I heard you guys do it the last time I was here, Casey Donahue, One Star Flag. That is an awesome song.
They're really good.
Bradley,
man.
tell us about that song and why you chose that.
Well, I really like the Casey Donahue band. They got a lot of good songs out. They're a local band out of Texas, and they're really good. I like their music. They got a lot of cooking songs, and we chose that one. Just it's about a guy who pretty much loves the rodeo, and the beat of the song really kind of gets you moving. So it's a damn good song.
You have to move to that song. If you're not moving while that song is playing, you must be dead.
But, no doubt.
It's fun to play.
Any of those names we just mentioned, if you see them playing anywhere close by, go see them, support those guys. They're not on mainstream radio. They won't be played on mainstream radio, so they are real country. And the Blue Ridge Ramblers, go out, support them, support local music, support these guys, because that's where everybody gets their start.
Come
that's
check
where
us out.
everybody gets started from is local music. They start playing the local honky-tonks, local bars, and move up from there. And you'll be seeing these guys playing anywhere and everywhere pretty soon. They are that good. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thanks, Adam.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, now be looking for you on Facebook, Blue Ridge Ramblers. And we'll catch you guys down the road.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Tackles, tunes, and turnbuckles with your host, Adam Roach. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back with the Blue Ridge Ramblers with some live cuts from their recent show out at Grace's in Fitzpatrick, Alabama. These are some pretty good live cuts. The crowd's really into it, and we hope you enjoy them too.
Charlie, don't you know? You better stay away from Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road. Copperhead Road.
Mr. Blake on the guitar tonight.
Got ice in my veins and blood on the lips and this look in my face like I don't give a shit. Everybody's acting like I'm the only one fucked up. I'm staring down the barrel of a whiskey bottle, got the hammer down and I ain't got a problem. Ripped up red line looking for a place to go. Trying to hit it sound like a freight train down to Texas. Girl in Fort Worth, where the boat her mind. She tells me the bed gets close is all that one stop like a baby like it's calling me home. All right, Daniel. That he blows and turns into my hand, 'cause I'll be the fool for the girls in the streets. I smile for the trouble while I'm holding up the buckle. We taking it to the bar till the drinks are on me. And I'm headed south like a freight train bound for Texas. The girl in Fort Worth swears blowed her mind. She tells me the bed gets cold. That one star flag is waving like it's calling me home. Don Lynch, one more time. If you think I'm easy, you're mistaken. This a tan will leave you shaking. Not my band, what I won't break. You can have what you can take. Come and get it, don't regret it. Better just walk away. I'm headed south like a freight train bound for Texas. There's a girl in Fort Worth where the mold her mind. She tells me the bed gets cold, she's all alone. That one star flag is waving like it's calling me home. And that one star flag is waving like it's calling me home. Thank y'all once again. We're the Blue Ridge Ramblers. That's it for us tonight.
tackles, tunes, and turnbuckles with your host, Adam Broach. We'll be right back.
All right, we want to thank the Blue Ridge Ramblers for being our musical guest this week. And now we're going to talk a little golf. First up, we'll have Mr. John Cannon, CEO of Sunbelt Golf. Then we'll jump in with our sports contributor, Tom Peavy, to break down the Barbasol Championship. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a great, out-of-the-way honky-tonk, away from the hustle and bustle of downtown Auburn, look no further. Take a trip out to the corner of Wire and Webster Road in the loveliest village on the plains, Auburn, Alabama. Visit Fat Daddy's. Fat Daddy's is a private club, only a $5 membership fee. Great happy hour drink specials. Every day open until 9 p.m. $2 domestic beer, $2 well drinks. On Monday nights, it is open mic comedy night. Wednesday nights, ladies' night. $2 glasses of wine until 9 p.m. It's also karaoke night with SLS Pros Karaoke. Be the star of the stage. Every weekend, put on your dancing shoes and come on out and join us for live music from great local artists. Fat Daddy's. Open later than anyone else in town. That's Fat Daddy's at the corner of Wire and Webster Road.
Back to the show. Tackles, tunes, and turnbuckles with your host, Adam Broach.
All right, and we're back. We're here with John Cannon. He's the president and CEO of Sunbelt Golf. John, thank you for coming on the show and talking to us. It's been a long, hot week, has it not?
Well, it generally is. We're in Auburn, Opelika in July, and if it's not a hot week, I'd be very shocked. So all of us, we prepare for this, and I know all the players and the caddies and their staffs prepare for it. It's just it's a long, hot walk, and it's a long, hot weekend, but we all, with 800 volunteers from this area and our staff that comes down, we actually bring staff in from every trail location to help run events such as this.
From the whole state, then.
So we love these weeks, and hot or not, we've been through sleet at Prattville in November before, and I'd take 90 degrees and humid before that. So
oh, really?
We had a great week.
It's been a beautiful week, with the exception of one day we had some rain out here.
Right.
But it's been a beautiful week, but it's been hot. This is the third year for the Barbasol Championship, which is a PGA Tour stop. Tell me a little bit about bringing the PGA into the Grand National course here.
Well, it's a long process. We've always had a relationship with the PGA Tour. We started hosting the Nike Tour Championship back in 1997.
Which course was that on?
We actually held it here one time. We had it in Mobile 2 years, and 2 years in Dothan, and we hosted it 9 years in Prattville.
Okay.
So, and then we've had the Champions Tour up at Ross Bridge for 4 years, but bringing the full PGA Tour to Auburn, Opelika is a first for us, and it's been a fantastic experience for us, not only as the trail, but everyone involved in. And what we look at it is this is Major League Sports in Opelika, Alabama.
Yes, and the big prize given out today, $630,000
to Grayson Murray.
Grayson Murray from Raleigh, North Carolina. He won the event here on Sunday afternoon as we record this. That last, there on hole 18 as they were walking up, when he made that putt in, and the expression on his face just kind of summed up the whole weekend, I think, for everyone. The excitement and joy that he had when he made that putt. And I've noticed all the volunteers I've seen have had a smile on their face. Everyone out here has been great hospitality. How many volunteers did they have this year?
I think I'm going to say the exact number I've heard is 823.
800, wow.
So it's plus or minus probably 15 or 20 of that, but it is in the 800s. and to get 800 volunteers to work an event such as this for free as a contribution to this effort, you know, with the PGA Tour and the Trail and Grand National here. It's remarkable, and you know, we just feel so fortunate to have partners in this community, you know, in the cities of Opelika, Auburn. Obviously, the university is a great help in this event.
Right.
So it's just a phenomenal week, and that expression you saw on Grayson Murray's face, you know, it epitomizes, and you know, it's those of us who work in golf and know golf know what goes behind getting a victory like that. You know, he's 23 years old.
I'm not a golf person.
Yeah.
I do not play golf.
No.
Obviously, working in the media, I have to cover it, and I
No,
have to
no,
say,
Adam, you get to cover
I
it.
get to cover it.
Yeah.
Let me
Yes.
rephrase that,
Yeah.
because this experience this week has changed my outlook on golf.
Right.
I've had a great time. Everyone here has been an absolute pleasure to work with. And as you say, I was looking at this on Monday as, I've got to go cover golf. Now it was, like you say, I get to
Right.
cover golf.
Yeah.
Because this has absolutely changed my perspective on golf. And I look forward to working with you again, with Bill again, with the PGA again, because everyone has made this experience so pleasurable for me on this side of it, working behind the scenes as you are and as Bill is. Bill
Right.
Lang, the director of communications for this course
For the entire trail. Yeah.
and he has been absolutely wonderful to work with.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about behind the scenes. What goes into putting this event together?
Well, it's like every major endeavor, okay? You finished this one today, and I promise you, we have our first meeting tomorrow morning at 8:30 about next year's event.
Already?
Absolutely. And for the next 30 days, it'll be more of a review of this year's event.
Right.
The tour is a great partner and very professional, so we'll get back player surveys, caddy surveys, sponsor and partner surveys.
Yeah, this is not a fly-by-night operation
Oh, no.
by any stretch
No,
of the imagination.
This is not the circus that parks in the parking lot of the supermarket. This is you deal with the PGA Tour is one of the most professionally managed organizations, and I'm not just talking sports organizations.
Any organization.
Organizations in the world, and they are a best in class, and it's our mandate to be best in class as well. So we have to get better at what we do every year.
Right. And from the first year to now, this is year 3, there's been a learning curve, I'm sure. Take us back from year 1 to year 2 to now. What things have changed out of either necessity or looking at it, maybe we can improve on this or improve on that? Has there been any changes?
Of course. I mean, you literally. I mean, there's so many unforeseen circumstances when you bring an event of this scope into a facility. This is a very large facility, by the way. We have 54 holes here. It's on over 600 acres. But we have a tiny little clubhouse. It looks imposing when you drive up to it, but there's not a lot of space in it. So you manage this space to accommodate the needs of all your constituents.
Right.
And you learn from year to year how you can get better at that. You know, we've moved what we do the last 2 years. We moved the pro shop out of the clubhouse.
Put it in its own 10 outside.
Put it in a 10 outside, so we expand our dining space for the players, families, and sponsors.
Right.
One thing, you know, and then you learn that, okay, we've got to double our air conditioning capacity.
Oh, and this is, we're in the media center. It's a tent out behind the clubhouse, and it's a beautiful air conditioned tent for the media to set up and have a press conference after the event, where Grayson Murray, who is 23 years old, received his $630,000 check and spoke to us briefly after winning the event. And going forward, I know this is early in the state, early in it. Do you foresee any changes to next year's event here?
Oh, there'll be changes, but what mostly will happen is 90% of that nobody ever notices.
Just minor things.
Well, it's minor things, and we what we call it's the plumbing behind the walls.
Yeah.
It's really the substructure that holds up an event like this to make it more successful. We've increased hospitality exposure, on-course hospitality exposure the last 2 years that people really enjoy. There may be some opportunities for that, but mostly it really is, adding capabilities behind the scenes that serve, first of all, our partners, the PGA Tour. The players are of course, crucial to the success, but also, our volunteers, making them comfortable, happy, making sure that, if there are needs there, we meet them actually before they know they need them. And the same thing with our employees and all of the fans that come out to watch this fantastic tournament.
And speaking of the fans, I've noticed this week that there have been a lot of people come through here.
Oh, yes.
And you mentioned the size of this facility. So when you're walking around here, the average person might think, well, there wasn't that many people there, because you've got all these people spread out over this facility over the course, so it might not look as there are that many people here, but in all actuality, there are a lot of people who came to Grand National to see this event.
90% of our fans walk with the players, okay?
And then
we have 10% that will locate in one place, either in the sky boxes or the bleachers around 18, or down in the food and beverage area, down on the 17 green.
And wait for them to come to them.
So when you spread, the property is 600 acres. The lake course takes up over 250 acres of that. Yes, it's not going to look like a mass all at once until you really get everybody together.
Not like a rock concert where everyone's jammed. 20,000 people are jammed into an arena. So you get that perspective that there's that many people there. Last year, can you remember the attendance last year?
We were, I think, right around 45,000. I haven't got the numbers yet for this week. I'll get them tomorrow morning in our wrap-up, and I'm sure. I actually think they're going to be more because I know yesterday was more than last year's Saturday. We had a real bad rain delay last Saturday of last year. So this year, the forecast hurt us a little bit, but it turned out to be a good day, and we finished everything on time.
Yes. Thursday, I believe it was, we had a rain delay late in the afternoon.
Yeah, we had an hour, 40-minute storm delay, but we never got rain on the golf course.
No, it was funny. On my way out that afternoon, the rain literally stopped on the main road right up here at the second roundabout. Mm-hmm. That's where the rain, it got close to us, but it never did make it here. On the course. Now, if it does rain, what can the fans expect for a rain delay?
Well, I think rain delays generally don't happen unless we have electricity in the air. We've had one rain delay in year one that was just rain because we had so much rain that the course became unplayable
like a monsoon
for championship conditions. Okay, and frankly, that can happen this time of year. But generally, with the amount of staff we have on site, once the rain stops, we send teams out to the golf course, and we're squeegeeing greens, we're actually pumping water out of bunkers, we're re-raking bunkers, and we can get the golf course back in play with a team on each hole. We can get it back in play in less than half an hour.
Wow, half an hour.
Yeah.
Wow. You see on NASCAR races where after a rain there, they come through and blow the track off. I guess it's kind of sort of the same thing here, like you said, squeegeeing the greens and everything. The actual play doesn't stop like at a football game unless the lightning strikes within a certain distance of the course.
Yeah.
And you have people that are watching the weather live
Well, the tour has a meteorologist on site all week. In other words, that's even in the practice rounds. So there's no, and they use the greatest technology available. It's the PGA Tour uses it, USGA. We use it around the trail. It's called ThorGuard, and it's a very highly sophisticated lightning prediction system.
Wow!
It's not detect. In other words, it's telling you if and when you're likely to get lightning. It's you're not.
So it's
too
pretty
late.
advanced technology.
Yes, you don't want to wait until we got lightning within a mile, because within a mile
it can strike here.
Could be on the property
Right.
from where the detection is.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And you don't want, being out on a golf course, lightning can strike someone. Because you're out in an open area like that, and
you can be a half a mile away from the clubhouse. Right. Yeah.
Then, like you said, that far away from the actual clubhouse, and so tell us, what are the procedures, and what can the fans expect when there is lightning forecasted for this course?
Well, what we do is, if you've been around the golf course, you see the electronic signs that we have everywhere, LED boards, and the tour will start warning us. Literally, usually, we'll have an hour and a half heads up of the possibilities, and we'll start the countdowns and the probabilities for lightning. And then if the tour meteorologist determines that within 30 minutes we have a high probability of lightning, we start sending messages out on the board. And
get prepared.
Give everybody, okay, you know what, get prepared to head back towards the clubhouse for safety. And when the time comes, when the siren blows, we've got shuttles out there that we get the players and caddies off first, and then start working on trying to get any fans back to safety as quickly as possible.
Right. Yeah. In July, the pop-up thunderstorms are the norm
it's
here.
Part of our life here.
Part of the thing here. Just like the heat, we can expect July is going to be hot, like August and September. So, the fans that live in this area know that. Fans that are visiting might not realize that. So, what would you tell people that want to visit? Maybe they notice that they're on vacation through this area, or passing through. They hear that maybe following the PGA, they want to come to Opelika next year to see the Barbasol Championship. What would you tell those fans?
Well, what we do is we have a lightning warning policy in our pairings guide that every fan gets, and we ask them to read that. Here's what we want to do to protect your safety, and here are our responsibilities and also your responsibilities as well.
Right.
Because it is endemic to the area. It's there's no surprise when we're going to get one. If you look at the weather report every day here or somewhere in Alabama,
there's always
it's 10 to 20% chance of thunderstorm.
Every day.
Right? Every day.
Every single day. Yeah. Is there on the website? Do y'all have anything listed on the website? What to expect when you come to see the PGA or the Barbasol Championship? Listed on the website, any of the conditions?
Yeah, BarbasolChampionship.com. Yeah, I mean, as much information as you would hope to want before getting here, plus contact information to our tournament staff that if you have questions before making the trip here that aren't covered on the website, of course.
Oh, yeah. Just go to BarbasolChampionship.com, and that will give you all the information you need to visit this this stop on the PGA Tour.
Right.
And it is a very well-designed website, I have to say. I've been to it, and everything is easy to find on that site. You don't have to hunt it like I've seen on other sites. It's a very user-friendly site. Even my mother, who is very computer illiterate, is able to navigate on that site. And, it sure has been a pleasure for me to be here. Everyone has been great to me personally.
Wonderful.
And I want to thank
we really appreciate
Bill
all
and
what the media contributes to making this event successful, and the entire
help
community.
it grow and prosper. If
Yes.
the people don't hear about it, that
Correct. Absolutely.
getting it in front of as many eyes and ears as possible, that promotes the event for the next years. And lets people know that this huge event is right here in our backyard.
Yeah, and you should be here even if you're not a golfer, right?
Oh, yeah, and just, I told some people earlier, I said, well, I don't play golf. I hate golf. I said, well, it's not just golf. You're not playing golf. You're having a good time. This is a major sporting event that, there's...
Many people have gone to a golf tournament who've never played golf and found that looks like something I would like to try and become lifelong golfers.
I mentioned before, I'm not a golfer.
Right.
The last time I played golf, let me back up just a second. I say I'm not a golfer, but I have friends of mine, a former roommate, old roommate I had back in school, and his brother, and they do play golf. And invited me to go out with them and play golf. So I had to borrow a set of clubs from my father. He plays golf, and we went out, and I had a very good time. And like you said, if you've never played golf, don't knock it till you've tried it.
Yeah, and you don't have to be good at it to enjoy it.
No, this event gives people a inside look to what they can expect if they would like to play golf, and it doesn't cost much. It is very reasonable ticket prices for a single day to come out and just walk around the course and take in everything, grab a cold beverage and enjoy a beautiful day.
And there is shade and a breeze coming off the lake. There are places where you can be very comfortable here. Even
it has been very comfortable, and the heat has discouraged some people from coming. And I told a friend of mine he had tickets, and I talked to him Friday night. I said, I didn't see you out there. I was looking for you. He said, oh, it was way too hot. There's no way I could have stood the heat. I said, you don't understand. That huge lake right there and the breeze that blows through there, it's not as hot here as it is elsewhere around Auburn, Opelika. He said, well, I was at Walmart and, got out of the car, and it was just so oppressive that I could not breathe. I said, you don't have to worry about there. There's plenty of shade. There's a nice breeze coming off the lake.
There's not a lot of hard space, so you just come on out. We'd love to have everybody in the area here next year. And once again, can't thank you enough for being a part of it, and appreciate everything you do to make us successful.
Now, I've had a blast, and I know it's late in the day, and you need to run. I want to thank you for coming on and talking to me for a few minutes, and I want to just hammer home. I've had a great time, and I look forward to coming back next year.
Great. My great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tackles, Tunes, and Turnbuckles with your host, Adam Broach. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back, and we are at one of our sponsors' locations now. We're at Fat Daddy's off Wire Road in Auburn, Alabama. I'm here with sports correspondent Tom Peavy. Tom has been a long-time sports journalist. He's a co-host of, what's the show you're on?
Sports Call.
Sports Call on 93.9 here in Auburn.
Monday and Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesdays, breaking down all the sports action here in the Southeastern Conference, Auburn.
We kind of focus on Auburn, but it's a little bit of everything. Whatever events are going on that week.
Gotcha.
That's what we talk about. So I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about I'll be back on there tomorrow, Monday, so I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about the Barbasol and any of the Auburn football happenings, anything like that that's going on.
Yeah, no big news out of Auburn, like from Ole Miss, but that's another topic.
Yeah, that's a whole different story.
That's a whole thing. But this week here in our area is the Barbasol Championship. It wrapped up today.
Hot weekend.
Tom, your thoughts on the Barbasol Championship?
I mean, I thought it was really good. I was really happy to see the crowd show up on Saturday and Sunday. The first two rounds, not very big crowds, but I mean that's kind of
during the week too.
Yeah, it's during the week, and really the the tournaments like the Barbasol don't usually get big crowds during the week. You'll see that in the major tournaments. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they had good crowds on Saturday and Sunday was impressive. For the big reason is there had been talk that Opelika might lose the tournament if they didn't get fan support, because I mean, obviously,
right?
You know, they're not going to keep it there if the fans aren't coming out and supporting it and spending money and doing all that. They'll find somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
And the contract that the Barbasol tournament has is with Robert Trent Jones Trail. It's not necessarily with Opelika.
So no, it's directly with the golf course itself and RSA.
And so there are other Trent Jones courses that they could potentially move it to if they wanted to.
Oh yeah, the trail being as big as it is.
Right. I know Prattville had been mentioned, but the crowds were there this weekend, and that's a good thing, and that will hopefully keep it here in Opelika longer. And the ultimate goal is to have it here and have it get big enough to where they can end up getting it as a standalone tournament, because as it stands right now, this is the third year of it, but it always bumps right up against the Open Championship over in England, formerly known as the British Open. It always bumps.
Is it just now the Open?
It's called the Open Championship now.
I've called it the British Open all weekend.
I have too, but yeah, they call it the Open Championship. But it was scheduled and it bumps right up against that same week, so you don't have all of the star-studded golfers come into Opelika. Now, you did have some good ones here this week, which was nice to see.
Jim Furyk was there.
Jim Furyk, Davis Love III, Retief Goosen, Angel Cabrera, some guys that have won major championships before. Really, what the Barbasol is, the deal with the Barbasol Championship, with it being the same week as the Open, or as a major, it's a chance for younger golfers to increase their FedEx points. And for the guy that won it today,
23 years old,
23-year-old rookie, Grayson Murray.
Grayson Murray, that's right.
Grayson Murray won it. That gives him a 2-year exemption on the PGA Tour, because there's a lot of things that go into if you're not winning tournaments, then you have to qualify every single year to get your PGA Tour card. Otherwise, you end up having to play on something like the Web.com Tour or something.
He was there last year on the Web.com.
He was on Web.com last year, right. And so what it is, it's with the Barbasol, these guys have not qualified to go to England to play in the major. So they're here, they're improving their FedEx Cup standings. In Grayson Murray's
he made 10 straight cuts.
Yeah. 10, but he still didn't have that exemption. He needed a win to get an exemption, and so by winning the tournament, he's got a 2-year exemption. He will be able to play this year in the PGA Championship, which is a major, and then next year he is now qualified to play in the Masters. He's qualified to play in the British Open. So pretty much, if you win the Barbasol, you're not going to see him back here again.
Yeah, that could be a downfall to someone like Grayson Murray winning and not coming back, but
that's the goal. The goal of every PGA Tour player out there is to play in the majors.
Yeah.
And in order to play the majors, you have to win somewhere on the tour, or you have to have big enough FedEx Cup standing points to be in that top, whatever it is, top money or top standings, to be able to qualify.
The top standings,
right? To qualify. And the reason that you saw some guys out here this year, bigger names like Jim Furyk and Davis Love III, those guys have had struggles this year. I know in Furyk's case, he's coming off surgery, and he just has not played well at all this year. And his FedEx Cup point standings don't have him qualified to play in the majors. And so, you have to applaud a guy like Jim Furyk. He could have taken this week off. He could have gone over there to Europe and just watched as a fan. I'm sure they would have let him in.
I'm sure.
And, but instead of taking a week off or doing that, he decided to come here to Opelika and play in the Barbasol. And, good for him. I mean, a big name like that, a lot of times will skip over a smaller tournament like this. But, yeah, the ultimate goal is to get this thing big enough to where it can be a standalone event. And then you get the guys like Jason Duffner. Obviously, if it was a standalone event, Duffner would come here and play, being a local guy.
Right.
Zach Johnson and all those big-time guys, Jordan Spieth. If you have a standalone tournament, then those guys potentially would come here and play. and then goodness, watch out. That's when you get huge crowds out there.
Yeah, they were pretty satisfied with the crowd that they had this weekend.
Right.
They are anticipating that they'll surpass last year's numbers, which were in the mid 40,000, 45,000, 42,000, something like that.
Just from what I saw, it was bigger.
Yeah.
And that's just the eye test.
And I had a conversation with someone yesterday about they could not see how we here in this area landed it. He said there was no one there. I said, well, you have to think this is a 600-acre property.
Right.
And these people are spread out over 18 holes. They're not just going to be in the grandstands or in the skyboxes watching. They're spread out.
Right.
And that's something that some of the people who are not following golf or do not watch golf on a regular basis don't understand is if you go out and visit and watch as a spectator or a fan, you're not going to see everyone in the same place like you would at a rock concert or a football game or something like that. And,
the other thing with golf is that with these tournaments that have the bigger names come in, the fans go out there to see those bigger names, right? And with it being right up against on the same weekend as the Open Championship, the big time golfers, the folks that really truly follow golf are going to be more inclined to just stay home and watch the Open Championship instead of going out and watch it. Or I shouldn't say the big time golfers, the ones that really follow it were the ones that would go out there. But your casual golf fan, they watch these tournaments and they'll go to a tournament to watch the bigger names, a guy like Jordan Spieth or Zach Johnson. That's what those fans will go and watch, the casual observer. But the ones that are like truly dedicated and just love golf, they will go to a smaller tournament like this just because it's still a PGA tournament. And they also understand that the guys that you're seeing out there, they may not be well-known names right now, but it's the potential. All of these big-time guys were in this position at some point.
At one time, they were. Right. Tiger Woods started out at things like this, making these rounds for a short period of time, and now.
I mean, everybody has to start somewhere.
You got to start out somewhere.
The guy that won today, like you said earlier, he's a 23-year-old rookie. He's just trying to figure his way out.
Right.
And now he's got that 2-year exemption, and if he wins some other tournaments, he's a name that everybody might know. You look through that list.
He's got the potential.
Yeah.
He's made 10 straight cuts as a rookie, and that's saying something to his ability.
Yeah.
I watched him late yesterday and all day today, and he thoroughly impressed me.
Yeah.
And you kind of might have saved his win.
Might have. I
secured it because it was getting a little hot out there today on the course, not just the heat, but it had some points changes, and Stallings was closed out yesterday in the lead, and
after shooting a 60,
tied it up.
Second guy this week that has shot a 60 has flirted with the big thing is the 59. If you can shoot a 59, that's kind of like pitching a no-hitter in baseball. The 59 is that dream round
at that particular course.
Right. And so you had two guys shoot 60 over the weekend, and one of the guys today, yesterday on the Saturday round, the third round, I had a guy shoot 60, and he, that jumped him all the way from kind of middle of the pack to leading the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, during the third round, it was on hole 13, and Grayson Murray was hitting his approach shot to the green. It's a par 5 that you can reach in 2, and I had positioned myself over to the on the side of the green as the golfers were looking at me. It would have been to the left side of the green as they were hitting.
And that's a tricky hole anyway.
Yeah, but a very easy for those guys. For those guys, they should be making birdie because you're hitting the green in 2, so you have an eagle putt, and that's usually going to be a lag putt up there. Now, the guy he was playing with yesterday, Collins, actually sank his eagle putt, a very long eagle putt. But it's a hole that you should get a birdie on because most of the time you're going to be putting for eagle. Even if it's a long putt, you lag it up there, and you have a tap-in birdie. Well, in yesterday's round, Grayson hit one, just dead shanked one left. Fortunately for me, I saw it come off the club, and I was able to actually track the ball, and I realized it was coming at me. And so I got out of the way of the ball. It kicked more to the left over the cart path and buried itself in just some thick, gnarly grass over on the edge of the woods. And when I say thick, gnarly grass, I mean big, wide leaf grass that was about just below knee deep. I mean, thick, really, really thick stuff. And as I saw the ball go into the grass and I made my way down there, look, I've played a lot of golf. I've been in golf tournaments. I understand that he's going to need to find that ball.
Right.
I mean, this isn't casual golf where you can go, okay, well, we'll forget about that one.
We'll just drop another one.
Yeah, we'll just toss one out here in the fairway. No, he was going to have to find that ball. And if he couldn't find the ball, then he was going to end up taking a penalty stroke, which can lose you a lot of money on the PGA Tour.
And in his case, $630,000 is what he won today.
Right, yeah. And he only won by one. So if you take everything into consideration, if he doesn't find that ball, then that's a penalty stroke, and there's no telling what he ends up shooting on that hole. And that could be the difference between win and a loss. Well, I made my way down there. A couple of volunteers from the Barbasol walked down there with me, and none of them saw where the ball went into the grass. I did. I watched it go in, and so I knew the general area to start looking. And we walked softly around the grass, and we looked, and finally I spotted it. And it was up under a canopy of grass that was kind of laid down. So it would have been really difficult to see that ball, and I happened to see it. So we stood right there, marked his ball, and when Grayson and his caddy came over to us, we were able to point out where his ball was, so he didn't have to go searching for his ball. We're like, it's right there.
Yep.
And you were able to lean down and look under it and see it. And it was like, there it is. So I found Grayson's ball. He was able to play that shot. He chipped it actually over the green, chipped back up, and had a tap in for par on the hole. But that could have been a disaster if he wasn't able to find that ball. And so, yeah, I saved the round.
I'm going to have to get in, send a note to them, and maybe we can get him on the show and you tell him that.
Well, we're hoping that in his celebrations he might find his way over here to Fat Daddy's tonight.
Hopefully he will.
I'll tell him face to face that you need to give me a little pat on the back there, Grayson. I might have saved your round for you.
Pat on the back, maybe a pat in the wallet.
Pat in the wallet, yeah. Drop something in these tip jars.
Exactly. But all in all, this was not a bad tournament.
No, not at all. And it has been for 3 years. There has been some knock on the crowds, but I mean that's to be expected. Like I said, your casual golf fan is going to want to go and watch the big named guys. And when you have a tournament that has a bunch of unrecognizable names, they don't really care. But for those that really understand, they're going to go out there and watch it because it's golf. It's a professional event. It's a professional event here in town. And if you go, and I guess this is kind of my thing out to any
it's something to do.
It's something to do. It's in the summer. There's no Auburn sports going on. Now they did have they had the big softball event going on this weekend. That may have also hurt. You had Team USA softball playing the Collegiate All-Stars here at J&B Moore Field. And you had a bunch of Auburn softball players on the collegiate tournament, and then you had Casey Cooper on Team USA.
Yeah, that might have hurt a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. And I mean, I know that was a sellout crowd, so there were fans there. But generally, the casual golf fan is going to be wanting to go and watch the big named guys, the guys that they're familiar with, and not going out there and walking around or sitting in that stifling heat to watch guys that they've never heard of. But it's a backwards way of thinking, because if you go and it becomes a big deal and they get the fan support, then you might eventually get your standalone tournament where you then get the really big names coming to town.
Like
and when that happens, Phil Mickelson or Jordan Spieth, like I said, Jason Duffner would
definitely be.
Duffner would absolutely 100% play in it. and Duffner would get all of his buddies to play in it. So that's the goal, is to eventually get it to be standalone instead of the same week as one of the majors.
Speaking of Auburn people, before the tournament, going into the tournament, I believe there were 5 or 6 Auburn alumni or in current Auburn students. There was a junior that was
playing as an amateur.
Playing as an amateur.
Yeah. You had Patton Kizar was one of the guys that was out there. Blaine Barber. Dominic Bazzelli. Auburn. It was a really good Auburn contingent out there.
I know Bazzelli and Barber made it all the way through into round 4.
Yeah, they made the cut.
Made the cut. Yeah.
So, and those guys have been playing some really good golf in other tournaments. You usually see their name popping up in there somewhere. But the Auburn contingent was good. There was also a big Alabama contingent of golfers there.
Yeah. The SEC was well represented in this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the guys that finished close to the lead was an Arkansas guy, I believe. He had the old Razorback on his bag. I think that was the Tig. Can't remember his last name now, but
I can't either.
Yeah, I think he kind of screwed the pooch on. Oh goodness, I think it was 16th hole. I think he was tied for the lead, and he put one in Lake Salgahatchee to the right of the green, and ended up with a double bogey. So he
didn't fare too well.
No, he messed his round up. It took one hole for him to really mess his chances up. But he was tied for the lead and dunked one into the lake. And so,
wow.
But hey, that's golf for you. I joke around about me finding that ball on 13 that I've had a lot of practice looking for balls in thick grass. So I mean that's kind of the way it is.
Yeah, and going in and finding the ball, that really, like we said, probably saved Grayson's day.
I honestly don't know if they would have been able to find that ball because like I said, none of he would have come down there. He would have asked, did anybody see where it went into the grass? Because back where he was at, he was a long way away, and it was uphill, so he's not going to have any idea where that ball went in the grass. He'll know it's over there somewhere, but that's
general idea where it landed.
No, that's a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
And if nobody up there around the green saw, he would have asked, does anybody know where it went in at, to kind of give them a location. These guys from, the tournament folks didn't see it go in. I think I was the only one that actually saw where the ball went in, and so I was able to kind of pinpoint the area, and then I was just happened to see it. So also thank goodness for polarized sunglasses, because I think that may have helped me spot that ball in all that thick grass.
Yeah, polarized sunglasses. There's a tip for you if you're going out and want to play some golf. Wear polarized sunglasses. Might help you find the ball in tall grass. You never know. But the heat, I think, might have played a part in some people's games. I specifically asked Grayson Murray if it played a part in his game this weekend, and he grew up in North Carolina, so he's in the South, and he said it honestly did not affect his game because he's used to the southern summer heat.
Yeah, but the thing is, with it being as hot, and the biggest thing was the humidity out there. When I walked around the course Saturday,
humidity is
I had sweat like running down my arms. I could feel the sweat dripping off my pinky. Well, these golfers, it's doing the same thing, and you saw them using their towels. You saw them go to their towels a bunch to wipe their faces off, wipe their arms and their hands. And the biggest thing in the game of golf, is your grip. And if your hands are slippery and sweaty, and your grips get that way, then you can't control the golf club as well. And then it also just becomes an annoyance. The other thing is just walking, because on the PGA Tour, on these tours, they can't use golf carts.
No, they're walking hole to hole.
This isn't going out and playing a random round and taking a golf cart. You're having to walk all over that course, and that just takes a physical toll on you walking around in that heat for those distances. And that course has some ups and downs and hills and different things like that.
heat exhaustion, dehydration.
After the Friday round, they actually had a caddy collapse and had to be taken care of by the fine folks from East Alabama EMS had to take care of one of the caddies that collapsed, and one of the PGA, I think it was one of the PGA Tour guys that was out there, took the bag and finished the round hauling the bag around. But yeah, I mean, I actually had a caddy collapse. And then I spoke with some of the ETS folks that were out there, and they had to deal with a lot of fans having heat problems.
I saw a few myself. Thursday, 8:30 a.m. already. Photographing holes 1, 2, 3, and 4 by 8:30 that morning. I was already soaked head to toe. I mean, my socks were soaking wet like I had waded in the Sagachi Lake out there.
Yeah. I mean, it was hot. It was really, really hot. So, I mean, yeah, those golfers, I mean, Grayson said it, didn't affect his game, but there's certain things with that, I mean, maybe you can try to block it out. And
that's what he said. He said, I would try. I'm not going to think about it because if I think about it, it might throw me off. It might change my focus.
Right.
But
there's some things that you just can't control. Like I said, the fatigue factor. By the time the time you get to 17 and 18 and you're walking in that heat all day,
it's going to have an effect on you. There's no doubt. You cannot say it won't affect you because it's physically impossible. It's going to affect you. It affects everybody.
Right. And like I said, and then just the sweat factor of trying to keep your hands dry and try to keep the sweat out of your eyes. You saw all those guys go into their towels quite a bit. The hydration part, and that's the one good thing about that tournament out there is
free water.
Pretty much on every single hole, they were stocked up with water and everything to keep the players and the caddies. A lot of people forget about the caddies having to tote that bag around.
And those things are heavy.
So the tournament, the fact that they have so much stuff set up for those guys to drink out there is a good thing.
And for the spectators, they have the stands out there, and they have free water for spectators to keep them from getting dehydrated and collapsing like that caddy did.
Right. Now, overall, it's a very well-run tournament, and I think you'll hear I don't think you'll hear a single golfer talk bad about it. They love the course because the course scores very well for them. That's why you see. You had two guys this weekend that shot 60. It's a very, very favorable course for a lot of these guys to put up a really, really good score. So that's going to attract guys. Like I said, you have these young guys trying to improve their FedEx Cup standings. They don't necessarily want to play a course that is just going to absolutely kill their game. When you have a course like that you can score on, that's going to attract these guys because, hey, I can go to Opelika playing this thing, and if I play pretty decent, I can put up a really, really good number.
And the payday's not bad. $630,000 is not a bad payday.
Oh, yeah. So, there's a lot of favorable things for these guys to go out there and play. Unfortunately, like I said, for the last 3 years, it's the same weekend as the Open Championship, so that hurts as far as getting the star-studded guys in here. But there's still some good guys in this, and you never know who might start showing up for it because there's a lot of times these bigger name guys like a Jim Furyk and some of these guys may not qualify for one of the majors, and this gives them an opportunity to come in and play and improve their standings and possibly get back into the league, into these major tournaments where they can play with the big guys.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a bad tournament at all.
And it's really nice out there. It's
a beautiful course.
It's gorgeous.
It is a beautiful course.
It's a very TV friendly course, and that's one of the things I've heard a lot of comments about is on just how that course comes across on TV. It's immaculate, and even just walking around out there, it is.
They take good care of it. They take very good care of that course, and the groundskeepers. They were out there getting there at like 3:30 a.m. or something like that, 3:30 to 4 o'clock in the morning, and starting work, and then working well up till 8, 9 o'clock at night to keep that course
And the other thing is, I mean, with it being a public course, it gets played so much. But what they do, if I'm not mistaken, they shut that lake course down for the entire month leading up to this tournament.
Yeah, they shut
so
they
keep
it down.
Yeah, they keep everybody off of it. That way, it's not getting overplayed, and you don't have huge divots all through the fairways, and the tee boxes are really nice. They want that place when those golfers step foot on it for that first round.
It looks brand new.
They want it to look brand new. And for the entire month, they close it down so that they can get that grass to where it needs to be. Now, the cool thing, though, for a golfer is now is the time you want to get back out there and play that course because it's in PGA shape. So now you want to go out there and play it because it will not have had the chance to the fringes along the fairways. I don't think they normally cut them down 3 levels like that, and so. It's now an opportunity for you to go out and play a PGA course, and go out there and tee off from the back tees and see how you do on a PGA course.
Yeah, the back 9 or the front 9 now would out there for someone like me who does not play golf on a regular basis. It would be a long day. It would be a very long day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a long weekend for even some of the pros, and for a lot of them, it was a very short weekend. They didn't even make it into the Friday and or the Saturday Sunday round.
Oh, yeah, they were cut
on Friday. So that course, while it is able to be scored really, really well, like you saw the guys do. You had other guys that just absolutely struggled on it because it's a course that if you get wayward with some of your shots, you're in the water because I think the water touches all but just a handful of holes out there.
Yeah, on that very far, I think it's number 5, hole 5.
Right.
It doesn't touch it. 5 and 2. 5 and 2, I think, are the only 2 out back there that it doesn't touch.
Well, and 18
and 1, hole 1.
Hole 1. 18, you're coming back away when you teeing off on 18. You're on a tee box that is on the edge of the lake, but you're hitting away from the lake.
You're going away from it,
right?
Yeah,
so
the front 9 back on the back side of the course, behind the clubhouse back there,
right.
1, 5, and 2, and then 18 on the back 9, which is right up beside in the front of the property there.
Right, but everything else you've got the lake to deal with, and then
which is a big lake, by the way.
Yeah, you don't realize how big that lake is until you get out there and look at it. Yeah, and then they have the other hazards around there. I know the green, and it's a very unique green. It's the 10th green and I believe 15. They share a green. It's one great big huge green that has a pin placement out on one end, and then about 40 yards away there's another pin placement on the same green. So it's 2 different holes that share that one green, but there's a man-made pond on that one. So you're having to deal with water on that one. It's not Lake Salgahatchee, but it's a separate water hazard that you deal with there. And then a lot of those par 3s, you're hitting over water and trying to land it. It's challenging. I've played that course before, and it does not take much to get sideways on that course. If you hit one offline, you're in some bad stuff. You will lose a lot of golf balls on that course.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of golf balls on that course.
Coming up on hole, let's see. 1, 2, hole 4.
Right.
I was up at hole 4 at the green, waiting for some golfers to come up there. I was going to snap some pictures of them making the putts there, because that's right there. You've got 2 tee boxes and 2 greens right there together, so you can cover a lot for what I do, and you. Being with the media covering that event, not a lot of walking right there. You can sit and wait and cover. And I'm not gonna reveal the name, but this particular golfer, he was having a bad hole on a bad time on hole 4, and he first shot drove and hooked, and it landed down in the rough, and you have to chip it up onto the green there.
Right.
And his first shot, it hit on the slope, rolled down, and curved back around to the. If you're standing at the hole, looking back down the fairway, back to the right, and it went down across or under the spectator rope, so it was out in the crowd.
Right.
And he had to. They had to take down the rope and get the fans out of the way. Well, I'm a professional photographer. I cover a lot of sports. And when you're photographing golf, you do not snap a picture until that golfer has made contact with the ball.
Correct. They will get very, very angry at you.
Yeah, they don't want any noise. And you have some that can hear a bee fart.
Yep.
One of them said something to a paramedic unzipping a bag, treating a cut. It was another golfer had cut himself. Somehow I did not get the story on how he cut himself. Shame on me for not being a news person, man, and not being a newsman and not getting that scoop. But anyway, this golfer turned around and yelled "Shh" to the paramedic, treating a cut. Right. Which, oh well.
But those guys are very, very finicky when it comes to that. Excuse me, they're very finicky when it comes to that, but I mean,
that's how they make their money. I understand.
It's a lot of money on the line, and those guys have like this. They try to get this just laser focus on what they're doing. And my thing is this: though, if you're that laser focused, you're not going to hear somebody unzipping a bag.
And and back to what I was saying, taking pictures. I wait for the golfer to make contact with the ball, so that way there's no clickety-click, no sound from the autofocus or anything like that.
Right.
He's already made contact, and he's watching to see where his ball lands. He's not going to be lining up a shot for a few minutes. He's got to walk to where that ball goes. But this golfer... he made his shot, and he's holding the club up, and I've just taken a picture, and the ball hits and rolls back down to him.
Oh.
Rolls back down to his feet. He goes over to his caddy to get another club, and I'm standing back. I move back closer to the green so I could wait for him to shoot, and both of him and the other guy get up on the green to make their putts. He sends his caddy over to me and says, "No photographs." I was like, "You do not want me to take pictures of you at this tournament?" No, I don't want any pictures. I was like, "Okay, guy." He was having a bad day, and I guess he didn't want any negative publicity on him. So,
yeah, I mean, those golfers can be very, very weird, and there's a lot of those guys that have developed a bad reputation for just being a jerk. Bubba Watson, in particular, is a guy that he blames everything. And I was thinking about Bubba Watson when I was out there Saturday. Somebody very nearby the course was having a really, really good time with some firearms. You could hear multiple firearms getting fired on somebody's property nearby, and big guns. It sounded like somebody was, skeet shooting with their shotgun, but then you could hear some pops, so it sounded like a pistol maybe. But
right.
For a good hour and a half, there was just gunfire in the distance. And I actually heard two of the golfer and the caddy were setting up, getting ready to hit their tee shot on the par 3 17th. And in the meantime, you hear pow, pow, all these gunshots. They actually made a comment to each other. It's like, well, okay, we got to deal with the gunshots. I could imagine Bubba Watson being at that tournament and absolutely flipping out.
Oh, he would lose his mind.
Because these were noticeable gunshots. I mean, they were in the distance, but it was very, very noticeable. And yeah, these guys they want just that absolute uber silence of
dead air,
nothing to concentrate on their shots. Which, hey, there's big money in play. I get it, but I don't know. I've played golf before and have actually hit a shot and had somebody apologize to me for talking when I was hitting, and I was like, I didn't even realize you were talking. I don't know. Maybe that stuff just doesn't bother me, but yeah, I mean, these golfers, they are very, very particular. And one thing I can say, applaud the fans that were out there. I don't think I ever once heard anybody's cell phone go off.
I don't recall any either.
And that's a big issue. Is somebody's concentrating, getting ready to hit a putt, and all of a sudden,
somebody's phone rings.
Somebody's phone starts ringing in the stands, and then the guy has to back off and refocus. And that's just it's a pain in the butt. But I didn't hear that, and that's a good thing because there's some tournaments that don't allow cell phones. And I know at the Masters, you cannot have during the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday rounds at the Masters, you are not allowed to have a phone on that golf course. You go to get onto that course, you have to go through almost like an airport security. You go through a metal detector.
You
go through a metal detector.
Take everything
out of your pockets. If you have a cell phone, they make you go back to your car, and it specifically says no cell phone. So at the Masters, you will not hear a cell phone go off because you're not allowed to have cell phones out there.
Well, the Masters everyone knows about the Masters.
Right.
Everyone has heard of the Masters, and not even if you're not a sports fan.
Right.
It's been highly publicized and covered for so many years, and referenced in movies and pop culture things, so everyone's heard of that, and I can understand that because every big name in golf, that's a goal is to win the Masters.
Yeah, but but that's one of those.
That's a bucket list thing for a golfer.
Oh, and it's a bucket list for a lot of fans. I've been fortunate enough to be able to go out there a couple of times on a Sunday round, but yeah, I mean their security there is very, very good. But yeah, I mean if you have a tournament and that becomes a problem with people in their phones, then they can start checking you at the door and make sure you don't have phones with you. But that was not a problem. Like I said, I didn't hear a single phone go off. Everybody that was out there, as far as the gallery, seemed very knowledgeable. There was one idiot following around that I don't know if he thought that Grayson Murray is an Alabama guy. Not really sure. But not every time, but a lot of holes that Grayson Murray would play on Saturday, and then I heard him again today when I was watching on TV. He would hit a shot, and this dude would just yell out, "Roll Tide," as loud as he possibly could.
Oh, my goodness.
But I didn't hear a lot of that. I didn't hear anybody, yelling mashed potato when somebody hit, or, Baba Booey and all this other goofy stuff these guys like to yell out at some of the tournaments. The crowds at the gallery seemed very knowledgeable. They remained quiet when they needed to be quiet. They clapped appropriately.
Well, I mean, it's here in Auburn. Well, that's, classy fans here at Auburn.
That's right.
So you're not going to get all that rednecky stuff as if you, I don't know, held it in Tuscaloosa. There's no telling what would happen imagine the Roll Tide chants up
Lord.
there.
Well, I'll say that, golf is one of those games, though. It's typically a pretty classy deal, no matter where you're at. Now, there are a couple of exceptions. I know the tournament that's at the beginning of the year that they play out in Scottsdale, Arizona, that is well known to be a very raucous crowd. But that's what makes that one such good TV, is that the fans
makes it fun for
the fans get absolutely liquored up and just go nuts for those guys. I've actually seen some of the golfers, talking about how finicky they are. Oddly enough, I think it was actually Bubba Watson that did it. Got up to a tee box and it was too quiet, and he actually started taking his arms and raising them up and down to get the crowd up.
What? Where are you at?
Yeah,
Where's everybody at?
So that's that tournament. The British, or not the British Open, the Ryder Cup. The Ryder Cup is very raucous because that's one of those where they will actually boo. You know, if you're for the English side, they will boo the Americans, vice versa. Same thing with Scottsdale. In particular, that par 3. There's a par 3 that Tiger Woods hit a hole-in-one on, I think, in 1997. That's still a big golf moment where the crowd was, after he holed it out, the crowd was like throwing drinks. I mean, it was just a madhouse. On that hole, if you don't hit the green, they will boo you. So that's one of those. But typically,
they're expecting it. If you don't make at least this shot on this particular hole,
you're going to get booed.
You're a failure.
Right. But that's that tournament. Really, every other golf tournament, it's a very classy. Everybody acts appropriately, and that was the way out there at the Barbasol. You didn't see any stupidness going on. I mean, everybody was very proper with the way they cheered and clapped. Not making a lot of excess noise. I mean, like I said, there was no stupidity out there, and that's a good thing.
Everyone was just as nice as they could be. You know, today's day and age in society, people. When I was a kid, you walk past someone at an aisle or a store, they'd, how you doing? How you doing? You know, there was a lot of that going on this weekend out there. People were nice to each other, nice to the players, and very pleasant, which. That is a statement to this area is because you go to an Auburn game. I've had so many opposing fans come up to me and say, wow, I wasn't expecting the treatment we got. We were treated so nicely.
Right.
We enjoy coming to games here, unlike some other places that we have been.
Yeah. I met a guy on it was an older gentleman and his wife, and they were here from Indiana, and they were actually friends with the golfer Chad Collins, who Chad was one of the guys that shot a 60. He led the tournament after round 2 because he shot that 60. They were friends of his that were down here watching him, but I was able to speak to that guy, and I mean it's such a friendly atmosphere out there. And that's part of what makes it fun. I mean, it's a very, very friendly, laid back. Really good for the family.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of kids. A lot of kids out there.
A lot of kids.
So yeah, I mean, it's a great event, and it's a great event for the city of Opelika and city of Auburn, bringing these pro guys in here.
It's a boost to the economy for this area, and it's a great event.
Yeah.
And the tickets are not that badly priced for, just a single day, go up $20. You're not going to find, you'll be hard-pressed to find something else to do for $20 where you go spend all day and have a good time doing it.
Well, and $20 for a ticket it's very, very inexpensive. But the other thing is to try to get the crowds out there. They were giving tickets away. If you went to the proper channels, you could get a ticket out there and not pay a dime for it.
I give away 2 tickets on our Facebook page here.
We gave away tickets on Sports Call. We gave away tickets there. And I knew of other folks, just businesses around here, especially businesses that were part of the sponsorships with it. There were tickets galore out there for the having for free.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, if you want to go, you can find a way to go and not pay a dime for it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry about paying or buying tickets I can't speak. You don't have to worry about if you want to go. Find a ticket. People are giving them away, and you. Next year, I suggest you go out and go to this golf tournament to check it out. You don't have to be a golfer. You don't have to be a golf fan. Just because you don't think you would enjoy it, get a free ticket. Get a free ticket. Go check it out, and you'll have a good time. You will have a great time. And there's no excuse for not checking it out. If you win a ticket from one of these businesses or win a ticket through a radio or newspaper promotion or any type of promo, go check it out. You will have a good time. It's a great atmosphere, family friendly, and it's fun. You'll have
you may end up becoming a golf fan. You never know.
And that is one of the things that the CEO of Sunbelt Golf him and I talked this afternoon, and that's one thing that he mentioned was non-golf fans coming out and getting interested in golf, and now they're golfers. They play golf. But it was definitely a fun-filled weekend. It was an interesting tournament, a great tournament. It was hot. It was hot, but that's July in Alabama for you.
Yeah.
But,
and now a lot of these same guys will head up to Canada for the RBC. I think it's the Canadian Open, maybe, the RBC.
The RBC tournament is this next weekend,
right.
So in Canada.
And so you're going to see a lot of these same guys that were here will go to Canada and play in that one, because most of your really big time guys are going to take a week off after the tournament in England at the Open Championship. Most of those big guys will take probably 2 or 3 weeks off before getting back into the play again.
I can imagine the mental recuperation you have to take off that.
And so you'll see a lot of these guys that you saw this week will be up in Canada next week.
Yeah. Well, we're about out of time today. I want to thank Tom Peavy for breaking down this weekend's Barbasol Championship here in the Auburn-Opelika area. It's been a great thing for this area the past 3 years, and with judging by the numbers, the preliminary numbers that they got, it looks like it will be back next year. They will be meeting the day after this tournament to start discussing plans for next year.
Yeah, and it's a good thing to keep it going. And like I said, their ultimate goal is to eventually have this as a standalone so that they can have bigger names come to it. The only way that happens is for the fans to turn out and show that Opelika and Auburn area can sustain a professional event like this. Because if they don't have the fans, then they're not going to have the tournament.
They're not going to have the tournament.
They'll go somewhere else where they think they can get fan support.
And this event has grown each year, and it definitely looked like it was well received this year. More fans. Probably a good jump, several thousand more than last year, and we hope so. We want it back. It's a good thing for this area, and hopefully it continues to grow and one day becomes that standalone tournament where we have those big names here in the Auburn-Opelika area. It would be great for East Alabama.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for listening to Tackles, Tunes, and Turnbuckles, brought to you by the East Alabama News Network with your host, Adam Broach. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit tttpod.com. That's tttpod.com. We'll catch you next time.